Now we're cooking. It's the coach. You're locked into Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Dalvin Cook. He's back and coming off a big game a weekend ago. Coming up, we'll see the visiting New Orleans Saints taking on the Minnesota Vikings. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. It can certainly get loud inside this building. And just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games. Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, they're in a real groove of late. Winners of 5 of their last 6 games. Both of these teams about to reach the halfway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of Michigan State, the former Spartan. It's Kirk Cousins.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well. Won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
And it's a welcome back to health for last year's #1 pick. This is Dalvin Cook. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Okay, Charles, the Vikings offensive starters, a former Ole Miss Rebel is a guy to watch, and that's Laquan Treadwell.
No doubt about it, and when you look at his speed, forget it. All right, just throw out that time stuff. Watch his play speed. He plays the game really fast and big and aggressively. They want to call him Megaquan. If he plays to that, he'll really help this Vikings team.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. There are the numbers for Cook from a week ago. 20 carries, 86 yards, and a touchdown.
And when I watch them operate, I see a unit that's playing with extreme confidence. Offensive line, tight ends, wide receivers. You see a group that wants their #8 rusher in the league end up being in the top 5 before it's over.
These two teams, of course, met in the much-dissected NFC divisional round game a season ago, and they also met in the Monday night opener last year. And Adrian Peterson's return to Minnesota, gosh, that seems like a lifetime ago. It was actually Peterson's replacement, though, Dalvin Cook, who went for 127 yards in a 29-19 Viking victory. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And here now, New Orleans defensive unit.
And the Saints got everything they want out of Marshawn Lattimore and more his rookie season. Yes, the NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year. But here's the best part. Didn't give up a single touchdown pass all season and made it very difficult for people to complete a pass in his area.
They'll try to throw now. Cousins. Incomplete. Right side, the tight end Rudolph. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, Now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. Cousins. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
Here's Brad Wing now to punt it away on 4th down. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They're led out by their 6-foot quarterback. You may have heard of him. From Purdue, it's Drew Brees.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
So Brees going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at the 20. Brees going to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 17. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And here's Lewis. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Winner. This is Mark Ingram. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. A look there at Ingram's numbers from a week ago. 14 carries, 53 yards.
He's been a huge part of their winning streak because he establishes not just an identity and a tone, but the team relies on it. He takes care of the football, he gains yardage for him, chews up clock, and that's been a big part of why they're winning games lately.
On 2nd down, here's Brees. Now Brees wants the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because This is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. Marcus Sherrill's back deep for Minnesota. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away.
And that's what friends are for.
Right. As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turn it over there, that's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Credit the tackle to Kurt Coleman. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scattered free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Play fake. Cousins. And he's taken down here by the Saints.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Well, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
Here's Brad Wing now, standing just about on his own goal line. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded at the 33. 12 yards on the return that time, and the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Breeze. And Wilson has it right side. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Throw left side, taken in by Meredith. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
Here we go.
Now Breeze throwing on 2nd down. Catch here, left side, Thomas. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down. Shotgun now for Breeze. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And Lutz's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
They start the drive with credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
3rd and long for Cousins. Going for his running back, and he's got him complete. And down he'll go at the 25. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Here's Brad Wing now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. Pulled in at the 24. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Breeze now on first down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. Following the interception, Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 15 yards through the air and a first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And before they can get settled in here, time expires on the first quarter of action. 7-3 the score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football, and they've got it here with a first down. On play action, Cousins. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. And now it's second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
The Vikings on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Daniel Carlson now for the Viking field goal. This a 43-yard attempt. Carlson able to put this one through. And they pushed. The lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. Now, bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. And here's Lewis. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Drew Brees getting ready to go again on offense. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the second quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's trying to find a way to equal things out. And instead of it going to the opponents, get it to his own receivers and find the end zone.
Yeah, you mentioned those 2 picks. No touchdown passes yet either. So Brees going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Flushed out right. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line.
Holding offense.
Now that's one they hate.
Still
the ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Ready, yellow lady.
To throw is Brees. And Watson has it right side. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. A good pickup after the penalty, 12 yards, and it's 2nd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
He dumps it down to Ingram. And he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll make it 3rd down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play.
Ready. Ready for second.
They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Here's Thomas Morstead now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. Cousins now. Throw left side on target to Thielen. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. On 1st and 10, Cousins. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
That would have been a great catch, but real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. It's the linebacker, Manti Te'o, on the stop.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, here's Cousins. And Rudolph has it left side. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Cousins to his tight end Rudolph for a Viking 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Cousins now 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a 1st down. They pitch it out to Cook, and he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. They run the counter with Cook, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. The run hasn't worked the last couple of plays. Now it's 3rd and 14. To throw is Cousins. And that is incomplete. Coverage there by Von Bell. throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
Here's Brad Wing now. He's been terrific so far. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. With them losing here in the second quarter and his limited productivity so far, you'd have to think they're going to try to look to him a little bit more, right?
I would guess you would start to see maybe some quick screens, some hitches, anything to get the ball in his hands quickly and let him try and do some damage after the catch. Or maybe just flip some formations and keep him isolated where it's more of a one-on-one route and get the ball to him.
Let's say just 4 verts, right?
Hey, why not 4 verts? One of the best routes in football. Hard to cover each guy all the way along the route.
So far, just 1 catch for him. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
3 down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Breeze now on 1st down. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a 1st down. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit. And that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions. Even when you're taking some hits, sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions, step up and make those throws, and he did that.
He goes underneath to Ingram, and he gets it down to the 32. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard to go for the 1st.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On 2nd down, Ingram. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. A minute 59 to go in the 1st half. More from Minneapolis after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our 1st half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. The Saints on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Ready?
To throw, it's Breeze. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Smith. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their 1st, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. All right, so the timeout over. And all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And Lutz puts this one through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
And now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Cousins on first down. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A first down throw for Cousins. That is incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw, Cousins. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Again, it's Cousins. To the sideline. That's well done. Able to drag the feet. He's going to have the first down. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Now, that's absolutely frustrating for a defender. Had a chance to get him on the ground before he got to the sideline, but what great vision and understanding where he is on the field as he headed for the marker and picked up the first down.
Cousins now 8 of 15 through the air, but it's 1st and 10 here. To the air again, it's Cousins. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Cousins again. Now he'll drop it underneath to his Complete. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. Well, we just saw shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those, too.
On 3rd and 1, here's Cousins. That's caught by Treadwell. And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a 1st down. Cousins able to connect with Treadwell for a Minnesota 1st.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a 1st down.
First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. From the red zone now, Cousins. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And now a timeout defensively after that 1st down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. Is good. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin out in Houston. And as you see, they were winners back on Thursday night. Deshaun Watson, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. From there we say, so long, America. Hello, England. As we head over the Atlantic to check out the action in London. And things didn't work out for him as they fall to the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. Carson Wentz leading the way there as the win gets his guys back to 500 on the year. And finally on Monday Night Football, the costumes will be out for the final game of October. Patriots and Bills from Buffalo. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. And here's Lewis. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up.
Ready? You ready?
Now a play fake here on first down. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Following the interception, Cousins throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. In on the tackle, Alex Okafor.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The Vikings on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll run it. Here's Cook. Call it a gain of 10, and they pick up the first.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
A give. This is Cook. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Craig Robertson in on the stop. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
On play action, Cousins. Looking for the end zone. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's fourth.
Well, that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
Yeah, and on third down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the third time tonight. This a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. Carlson able to put this one through. And that one makes this a 10-point game at 16-6. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Drew Brees getting ready to go again on offense. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
So Brees going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Now Brees throwing on 2nd down. Eluding the pressure right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. The Saints on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Ready?
Working from the gun, it's Brees. And that's complete. It's Watson. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What did the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
Brees now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Brees. And Thomas has it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Ready?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now Brees. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. He was trying to hit Thomas that time.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Up now come the Vikings. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Now a second down throw for Cousins. And that is incomplete.
But sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
The Vikings on third down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
Not sure what you're thinking here, partner, but I believe the officials have done a nice job here getting together and then coming out and indicating that there was a receiver in the area.
Absolutely, and he was in the area. Correct call made, no grounding. Here's Brad Wing now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And great field position coming up in the red zone at the 17-yard line.
It's been a struggle all game for them on offense. This was a chance to maybe provide a little bit of a spark with a punt return. Unfortunately, that spark got doused.
Yeah, and you call special teams the 3rd phase, but you see here it can be the 1st phase sometimes.
That is so true, right? It can ignite it one way or the other, and boy, that didn't help them at all.
Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And he's heating up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Cook, he's been busy tonight, and it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. For Kidder here, it's complete. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the 1st down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. So out comes the field goal team once more. The kick by Carlson is good. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. So making 4 out of 4 now in the field goal department, and he's able to extend their lead.
When drives are bogged down, he's been an automatic out there. So nice to have a kicker you can count on to put points on the board.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. And here's Lewis. The Saints coming out now to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and of course they'd like to forget the ending, the interception, but they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Ready.
From the gun, it's Breeze. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And he'll be brought down around the 7-yard line. The Vikings now heading onto the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because
and the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Craig Robertson leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
So 1st down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Boy, you'd hate to squander this great field position. Here's 3rd and goal. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Daniel Carlson now for the Viking field goal. Carlson able to put this one through. And that will swell the lead to 16. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
And here's Lewis. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10 at their own 26.
0-2.
The drive starts here with a carry by Ingram. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Making the stop there, Danielle Hunter.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last two drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Saints who hold the football, but they're trailing as we begin the 4th quarter of play. The Saints on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Ready? You waiting?
Here's Breeze to throw. And Watson has it right side. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Keep playing hard, brother. Let's get it.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Pushing through the contact. And boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. Mark Ingram unable to get past the marker. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Now, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And he carries this one all the way down to the 9. Gain of 25 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
He'll get it up the middle. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here.
Good strike, the ball's out. They'll give it to him up the middle. And this is picked up by the Saints. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the 4th. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows a coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A good pick up there of 20 yards. Decent start there to the drive. Big hill to climb, needing 2 touchdowns, also a 2 two-point conversion.
So, partner, how do you eat an elephant?
I don't eat an elephant. Who eats elephant?
But if you do it one bite at a time. Okay. That's the way they've got to play this, one play at a time.
And now here's another interception. Picked up by Harrison Smith. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of the player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Cousins now to throw on first down. All incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Handoff comes to Cook. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. Third down, Cousins. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Here's Brad Wing now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. Drew Brees getting ready to go again on offense. With his guys trailing here in the 4th, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near-perfect football if you want to get your team back into the game. But it's also tough to do when you're trying to avoid errors, yet still play perfect football.
So Brees going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Flush to his right. Escaping the pressure right. Now Brees wants the football. And the Vikings pick up the football.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a 2-possession game. It is a 2-possession game at this stage in the 4th. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. On 2nd and goal, Cook waiting in the backfield all alone. Now Cousins. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Demario Davis. Tough to handle on that blitz. He gets him for a loss of 5.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Here's Cousins. His pass caught at the 4. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Kyle Rudolph, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Carlson on for the PAT. Extra point by Carlson. Up and good.
Running into the kicker. Defense.
So 5 yards for running into. Lucky it wasn't 15 for roughing.
No doubt about it, because they protect the kickers and the guys holding the ball almost as much as they protect quarterbacks in the pocket. They don't want those types of injuries.
Carlson now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Marching back out there, ready for the next possession. Here comes the Vikings defense. Recovered the fumble, up on the scoreboard. They've got the momentum.
And that's a confident group that we see hitting the field again. Just what you talked about. Took away the ball the last possession. They feel like they can go ahead and do it again. They are locked in and feeling good about how this game is going.
And they're playing free. They're playing loose.
Yeah, and that's a good thing. You know, sometimes it can be a bad thing if you're too free, too loose, and you give up your responsibilities. But not this unit. They are.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Sheldon Richardson in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. Now Breeze finds his man, Watson, over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. Breeze going to throw. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Breeze now. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. To throw, it's Breeze. Dancing to his left. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into his windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw, so maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
They'll run it now out of the gun, and he stopped immediately there. Sheldon Richardson there to make the play. Breeze to throw on 2nd down. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
3rd and long now after the sack of Breeze, and the Saints up against it here.
11. 36.
Breeze now to throw. He's going to walk one deep left side here. And incomplete, almost intercepted. Had a great shot of picking that off in the end zone. And now 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Now Breeze got to have this one. He's going to float this, and this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And he will bring it out past the 20-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
They begin the drive with a run by Murray. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this 4th quarter. That was 2nd down run for Murray. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Here we go. Four down.
On third down, Murray. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Here's Brad Wing now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And taken right at the 35. And now it looks like he's in some discomfort after being tackled at the end of that return. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and then we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a first down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. He dumps it down to Ingram. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll make it second and short.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Bridgewater again. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick.
Pass interference. Defense.
Trying to defend the out route there, got the PI call.
And you know what's difficult about that one is sometimes you want to make the undercut move and go for the football, and other times just want to hang on the upfield shoulder and make the tackle. I think he got caught in between and created a foul.
A first down throw for Bridgewater. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. Got a man open. It's Thomas. It's a touchdown for New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Saints take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash in for 6.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Now Bridgewater will lead the troops up to go for 2. Throwing is Bridgewater. Forced out, under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Tried to roll out, make a play outside of the pocket, but couldn't get it done.
When you don't have a lot of space for your receivers to operate, and down there it's really condensed when you're snapping the ball from the 2-yard line, rolling out, you extend the play, but you don't necessarily open up better avenues for people. And on that play, there's just nowhere to go with the ball, and they end up getting sacked.
So despite the huge deficit, they're going to keep fighting. Here comes the onside kick. And the Vikings hands team able to recover, and that should just about do it. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Cousins just going to take this one down to a knee and end it.
Here we go.
Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Minnesota, the win means they'll finish the first half at a respectable 5-3 record. And they'll have another home date next week as the Detroit Lions come to town. Meanwhile, for the Saints, they drop just their 2nd game so far as they fall to 5-2. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Los Angeles Rams. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. It's a win for the Vikings as we say so long from Minneapolis. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. With me, as always, Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at a matchup like this. It's really the running backs that make again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. With me, as always, Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at a matchup like this. It's really the running backs that may take center stage here today.
And in today's football, they're still valuable, not just as runners, but guys who can catch the ball as well. It's really the number of touches that determines things these days.
The veteran kicker, Mason Crosby, set to do the honors here. And off we go in Madden Ultimate Team. On 1st and 10, Smith is brought in by Jamison Crowder. And they found it. It's on the ground. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
To put it mildly, that is not the way anyone wants to start off a game. You fumble on your first offensive snap. But now what you're worried about is, does that linger throughout the game for your guys on offense? And how's the defense going to handle it? Because no one expects to run out on the field on the first play and have to all of a sudden start to play themselves.
Vic now after the fumble recovery. Over the middle here to Brown. And they do get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed and the agility, so good. And we'll take it in for a Bronco touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Broncos have taken the early lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Smith. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
No grounding call there. He had a receiver near the right sideline. It was pretty clear there. He just needed to get rid of that one.
And he did have a receiver in the area, but initially my view was obstructed, and I thought that was going to be grounding, but clearly the correct call made, and that is no call.
Is that why you threw your play sheet down? Is that why you did it? Is that the flag?
Can't be giving me up. I got a lot of issues up here in the booth. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. So on 4th down, the Redskins will call on Tressway to punt it away. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. They'll start the drive with Elliott. make one tackle, but then quickly brought down. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Right 90, right 20, cut!
Vic on the bootleg. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Hey, right 20. Go, go, go. Eagle, eagle.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. A bullet throw, but incomplete. Well, shame on them, Coach Davis. They went against your advice. They threw the football, and now they're backed up to punt this away.
They're actually fortunate. They went against my advice, but they didn't turn it over, right? No takeaway for the defense. They'll punt it now. They probably could have gained a few yards if they ran it, though, and helped out with field position.
Taken on the midfield logo. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Redskins will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. That's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
A good pick up there of 20 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now a first down throw. It's Smith. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Jamison Crowder there. And it's 2nd down. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Smith going to throw again. And he drops this off to Thompson, complete. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll be 3rd down. Throwing again is Smith. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. And Hopkins' kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points. Not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
Let's go. Right 90. Yes. Right 52.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Vick operating on first down. That one brought in by his tight end, Adam Shaheen. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield across the 45. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. On first and 10, here's Vick. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. They go play action here on first down. They'll roll him out right. And his throw is incomplete. Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Here's Vick. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
Eagle.
Vick to the air again. Now Vick stripped. He lost the football. And the Redskins scoop it. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Following the fumble recovery, Smith. On the catch, it's Crowder. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. The final shot here before break. Smith. Complete. Richardson has it. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. This will be taken short. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Now a play fake here on first down. Rolling to his right. He's going deep for Brown. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They give to Elliott. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. Here's Michael Vick. Flushed out right. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down and a 21-yard gain. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. The give is to Elliott. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. Pernell McPhee in there on the stop.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Vick goes play action. He's going to float this one deep right side. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
On 3rd down, Vick. And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. And he's out of bounds, but not before a big pickup that time on what's going to wind up being the final play of the 3rd quarter. Vick will look to throw on 1st down. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Despite the late lead, Vick's going to throw. But he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in the second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
On 3rd down, Elliott. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And now before they run this 4th down play, we're going to get a timeout as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Vick to throw. Eluding the pressure right. He may try and run for this. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. It's 1st and goal and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. Now Elliott. He gets this down to the 3, but no further. Brought the power run out of the bag and got a couple extra yards with it. It's a good pickup of 7 yards, and now they're looking at 2nd and goal. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
Oh, Brandon, I'm going to tell you, this is football time to me. They're inside the 10-yard line. That's like drawing the line in the sand. Who's going to make the stand here? Defensive guys, they know if he gets in the end zone, this ball game is over. And the guys with the football right now, they're thinking, let's just pound it in there.
Got to hold them to 3 to keep this a one-score game. They've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Here's Elliott. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal.
There are certain drives in the game where anything less than a touchdown that caps it feels like an absolute disappointment. This is one of those drives.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. They have time here, partner, for just one final heave.
And I have to look at it from the defense's perspective here. We know what they're going to do on offense. The Hail Mary, try and get guys down there and throw it in the end zone, tip it around and catch it. You've got to have guys back there to defend that, but also you can't allow the quarterback as much time as he wants to set up and throw it. Maybe you bring a little extra pressure to make sure he gets rid of it quick.
And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. It's the safety, Kirk Coleman, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. Well, we were on hand for a fun and entertaining game here, coming down really to that last play. Great job defensively to get the pick and seal it.
And we know that every play during a game matters. You're never sure which one's going to be one of the key ones. But at the end of the game, when you analyze it, 3, 4, 5 plays are going to be the ones you focus on. And that last play was one of them. The last shot had to take it, and they came up with the interception and sealed their victory.
So that'll do it from here for Charles Davis and the rest of our crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching Madden Ultimate Team on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com/Madden. With that, we sign off from Landover. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. With me, as always, Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at a matchup like this. It's really the running backs that may take center stage here today.
And in today's football, they're still valuable, not just as runners, but guys who can catch the ball as well. It's really the number of touches that determines things these days.
The veteran kicker, Mason Crosby, set to do the honors here. And here we go. We're underway in Madden Ultimate Team. Now it's Chris Thompson on the return. Oh, leaves him behind on the spin. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Welcome again, everybody, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn, and yes, the rain is falling now, and it is supposed to continue to fall throughout this game. So how do you think that will impact this contest?
Well, first and foremost, both quarterbacks are going to make sure the officials have those dry footballs coming in each and every play and standing over them sometimes with a towel before the center gets up there to snap it. Second thing is the focus of all the guys who handle the football. Do they wear gloves? Do they take them off? Will they carry the ball high and tight to make sure they have good ball security? That's paramount in a game like this.
There. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Keenum now on second down. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The former Pro Bowler Glover Quinn there making the play.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Throwing on third down, Keenum. And he will have a man, Demaryius Thomas. And he's taken down deep in their territory. It's a big play, Keenum to Thomas, and even 60 yards.
He's come a long way since his time at Georgia Tech. What did he run at Tech? He ran hitches and go routes, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, but he ran them really well. He averaged well over 20 yards a catch while he was there. And he still creates downfield in the NFL. That big body and that willingness to go catch the football. He's pretty impressive.
And his friends call him Bebe, the nickname his uncle gave him back in the day. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Keenum. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 13. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. So here's Vic following the interception. And they didn't wait long to take a shot there, that's for sure, but it falls incomplete, and it's 2nd down. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Vic now. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. Diggs unable to reel that in, and he might find things a little difficult in this one. He's set to lock horns with Chris Harris, as Harris is going to be shadowing him all around the field.
And what I love about Harris's game is his ability to play outside, work inside to the slot, and he always carries a chip on his shoulder. Remember, he was an undrafted free agent. This turned himself into a Pro Bowl player.
Yes, the former Kansas Jayhawk, undrafted in 2011. On 4th down on now is the lefty Ryan Allen to punt. Taking it about the 36. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. First and 10. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit. I'll put some points on the board on this one.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. The Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play. Booker on first down. Busting through contact. Just wasn't a huge hole there for him to operate. Stopped just inside the 35-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Keenum to throw on 2nd down. Drops it underneath for Booker. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And just like that, it's 3rd down. From the gun, here's Keenum. And running with power here. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And he's going to be taken down, but not before reaching the 15-yard line. Keenum now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. They'll hand off to Booker. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a game, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Throwing on 2nd. Got his man. It's Thomas. Touchdown, Denver. Demaryius Thomas from 10 yards out. And the Broncos are in for 6. On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Adoree Jackson on the return. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he whips that one incomplete there. 6-time Pro Bowler Randy Moss, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Buying time to his left. He can run. Now Vic stripped. He lost the football. First down, Vic. And Graham's got it over the middle. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. A perfectly executed crossing route. A first down throw coming for Vic. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable second and short.
Vic to throw it. Caught. It's Cruz left side. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. 23 yards on the play.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him? Either fellow receivers or offensive linemen. That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott taking it in from 11 yards out. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And a little time left on the clock, so on the other side, they're thinking, gosh, we'd like to get that lead right back.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. Here I am going ahead and tapping out the first half.
Well,
there's still time. They've got to make a decision about what they want to do on the kickoff, where they want to let their return guy touch it.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is fielded at the goal line. Spinning past him.
In a tie game, both sides are looking for something to give them an advantage. It often falls back on special teams. And that return, that could be the spark to untie the game.
The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Got a man open. It's Sutton. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Working from the gun, Keenum. And his throw here's incomplete. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and short.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. They set up the screen to Booker. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Again, it's Keenum. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
We've already seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half. Unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is, because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
Throwing is Keenum on 3rd down. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team. As they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. So on 4th down, here's Marquette King to punt it away. They'll send this away into the Rocky Mountain Night, and it's a good one. Now this offense ready to head back out there. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
On 1st and 10, here's Vic. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This is fielded at the goal line. Now this offense about ready to take over again. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Man open left side is Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 49-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Vic now from the 50. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Brian Dawkins, the safety, with a pick. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And now nothing but green ahead of him. And he will score. Touchdown, Denver.
Well, partner, I do know this. If you're a defensive back, you have more chances to make a team now than ever because people are using 5 defensive backs, 6 defensive back packages. Not exclusively, but way more than before. That was a nickel package there, and what a pickoff.
Why is that? Why are they using that more?
Because more people are throwing the ball on earlier downs than ever before. This has become a passing league, and because of that, more defensive backs on the field on most plays.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be taken very short. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one didn't bother you too much.
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Vic readies to throw. And his pass incomplete.
His struggles finding open receivers continue. I don't know the last time I saw him this inconsistent throwing the football.
It would be hard to find a date when he was this inconsistent. You know, in his locker, he keeps the word poise printed on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. He needs to find that poise right now.
He certainly does. In fact, I would suggest he laminated.
And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. That's pulled in at the 32. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Tackle made there by Zach Brown.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
His throw incomplete. Oh, Thomas unable to reel that one in, and that'll make it third down.
Well, he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
From the gun on third down, Keenum. They're able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up fourth down. Here's Marquette King now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And now back out comes the offense. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Now Vic stripped. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And he'll be marked down at the 2-yard line.
All the practice, all the training, all the meetings. In this situation, I know exactly what quarterbacks are taught. Take care of the football. That's job one paramount. Because you cough it up here, you might be giving up 6 points real easy.
Tip of the cap to the defense, though, forcing the fumble. The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? First and goal. Following the fumble recovery, it's Keenum. And caught by Sanders. Touchdown, Broncos. Emmanuel Sanders, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Broncos use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point from McManus is good. And it's now 21-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it now because you're exactly right.
That, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. So what again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Welcome back now to Denver, as it looks like we are just about set and ready to begin with the fourth. Vic will look to throw on first down. Stepping up, he'll try and run. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Now a second down throw for Vic. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, puts a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball, and that was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
On third down, Vick. Throw right side, going to be complete to Moss. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down. Short play like that in this situation this late, that's a win for the defense. No doubt. And I remember something Coach Madden used to talk about all the time. Sometimes you can't just take what the defense gives you. You have to take what you need. And in this case, the offense is taking what the defense is giving them, not what they need. And that is incomplete. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. They'll run it now out of the gun. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Right back to Booker. And he'll get inside the 40 to maybe the 38-yard line. Mario Edwards Jr. there to bring him down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And he's got Hyman. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. And now whistles blow here. Play is stopped, and we're going to get a timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Keenum now 10 of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a 1st and 10. The win for the Broncos seemingly assured. They go down to a knee.
Let's go.
Keenum's going to throw it here. And that's complete to the tight end, Hireman. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. The win for the Broncos seemingly assured. They go down to a knee.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right? Just us against the world and get it done. How happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And here now the offense heading back out there. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, Coach, what do you want to call? He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here.
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Get your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. From Denver, good night, everybody.